Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aylin and today we're doing the book haul that I said I wasn't gonna do until my birthday. I have, I think, just under, maybe just at 50 books to talk to you all about. And this is not even including the digital book haul that I'm planning on filming later today, so that should be up around the time that this one is up. I don't know if it'll be before or after. I'll have it linked once it is finally up. Either way, we have plenty of books to talk about for this video. Very exciting. I've broken them up into categories. So we've got fantasy, which is honestly actually the biggest stack, which is surprising to you and I, don't worry. We have mystery thrillers, we have kind of a miscellaneous stack, romance, of course, and then book of the month books. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, not entirely sure where to start. So I guess we'll just start with the fantasy. So the first 3 books are actually books that my grandma sent to me. She was getting rid of some books and offered to send me some of them. Obviously, that's what sending me them means. This is a great start. She sent me Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I haven't read the first one, even still. I know I'm a terrible human being. I do really want to read it. I got like 40 pages in when I was dealing a lot with like my mental health, and I really enjoyed it, but I just kind of had to prioritize myself, so I put it down, but it is a series that I desperately want to get to. So then we have Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. This is the 3rd book in the Diviners series. I have book 1, 3, and 4, so I just need book 2 now, but I was very thankful that she had the hardcover of this. I've heard that this one is the best one in the series, so I'm super excited to read this one. Then I actually have a sci-fi, and if you've been around on my channel, you know that's not a genre that I read. I am actually unhauling a bunch of books, and there's some sci-fi on there purely because I don't read it, but this is one that my grandma like completely sold me on, and I was like, alright, let's give it a try. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This is the author of the Aragon Cycle, the series about dragons that was super popular when I was young and also when I was in middle school. Like, it got a resurgence. But I'm very excited to read this one. The back just says, "Space holds countless secrets. She just found the deadliest one." So I'm hoping this will give me very similar vibes to Into the Drowning Deep, which, again, if you're new here, is one of my favorite books of all time. I loved how creepy that was. It's sci-fi horror. Hoping that I love this. Either way, I have it now. Then I have The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I heard amazing things about this when it came out, and I really, really wanted to read it. This is actually the special edition from Fairy Loot, and I got this on Pango from Shelby over at Graceworth Books, actually. So thank you, Shelby, for sending this my way. It's even signed and everything. I'm very excited. I also have Margaret Owen's most recent release, Little Thieves or something like that, which I hauled I think in my last video, or maybe my book haul before that. Super stoked to read this one. I don't know much about it. Let's read the little tagline on the back together. It wasn't that Fee wanted to burn the whole world down. No, she just wanted the world to know that she could. Honestly, this kind of sounds like I'm in the perfect mood for this. I'm gonna do a video again very soon on my aesthetic in books, where like those books define my reading taste, and the villain era of women and like taking down the patriarchy is definitely the era that I'm in right now. So this sounds incredible. I cannot wait to read this. I think I'm going to love this. This is definitely a 5-star prediction. So this just got so much higher on my TBR than it already was, which is saying a lot because it was pretty high up there. Then in my most recent book shopping vlog, I picked up a couple of new releases. So we have The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I had to pick this one up ASAP because it is the signed Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I did not want this one to like go out of stock before I could get my hands on it. And then we also have Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. Again, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, because didn't want it to go out of stock before I could get my hands on it, and I can get the regular edition anytime. This is the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is the spin-off series to the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, and it was just announced that there is actually going to be a third book in this series coming next year, so it is not a duology as I think I, as well as so many other people, initially anticipated. I'm very excited. This cover is beautiful. I love the purple. And I think I'm gonna love this. I really enjoy Stephanie Garber's writing style and how beautiful and lyrical it is, and the worlds that she comes up with are just so immersive. So I actually need to go back and reread Caraval and Legendary so that I can continue on with the rest of the books. As far as this one goes, Shelby from Grace with Books, again, just posted on her Instagram story that she read this in like 24 hours. Absolutely loved it, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and that it was insane. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. I loved the first book, and then I was really apprehensive to read the second one because Rylan said she didn't like it. But I'm gonna read them soon. They're going on my October TBR. They absolutely have to. It's one of my favorite series. It's so good. The first book is about this girl who is a witch. Her and her twin sister are witches, and witches are like, if you are a witch, you have to kind of keep that private and not tell anyone because people really don't like them. And one day she finds her sister's dead body, and she summons a prince of hell to help her solve this murder and figure out what was going on. Like I said, loved the first book. It was one of my favorite books of the year. So with this one, I'm so excited to continue on with the series. I just think it's going to be so much fun, and I'm so happy. I just feel like it's such fall vibes. Oh, I'm so excited. Then a YA fantasy that I literally picked up today, A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. This is the first book in the like Magic of Tea or something series, which is such a cozy name for a series. I'm obsessed with this cover. I don't know much about this book, but I do know that it got a lot of buzz when it first came out, and the sequel came out very recently. It's a very short book, and I feel like, again, it's perfect for fall and winter time with all of the tea references that are going to be in here, and I'm just so excited. I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful story. And then to round out the fantasy section, the next 5 books actually go together. We have a bunch of Shadowhunter Chronicle books. Danielle, don't come for me. So when I started my reread of the Shadowhunter Chronicles, I went into Barnes & Noble and I just wanted to see if they had any hardcovers, and this one was there. It's the Shadowhunter Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. I just thought that this could be like fun to have. I plan on doing a whole Shadowhunter shelf on my new bookshelves that my mom and I are building, so I got this. I thought it would be cool. It's annotated, I believe, by the characters from The Infernal Devices, which I think will be really cool to read. Speaking of the characters from The Infernal Devices, I got Clockwork Angel. This is the book that I am currently on with my reread. I really enjoy physically reading these ones because I just think they're so atmospheric. Currently on page 24, and I know we're getting to the good part very, very soon, so I'm excited to be back in this world, be back with these characters. They break my heart with how dramatic and emo they are, and I couldn't ask for anything more, to be honest. And then I also got the first 3 books in the, what is it called, Mortal Instruments series. This is the original trilogy, City of Bones, City of Glass, or no, City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. These ones I have already read, so my like treat for myself is each time I've finished one or I am on one, I get to buy the book in the hardcover edition because these are the ones that I want to read and annotate so that I'm not ruining the spines of my paperback ones that make the picture. I guess we'll move on to romance because that's the next biggest section. So the first one that I got is a new release because I had to. If you watched my best books of 2021 video, I feel like me having this is not that big of a surprise. Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood. I loved The Love Hypothesis so much last year. It got me out of my reading slump and literally back into reading after not reading for like 2-3 months. So I'm so excited for this one. I think it's gonna be great. Oh, I'm so excited. So many people have said that it's so similar to the first book, but then I hear other people say that that's completely not true. Either way, I don't mind reading books that are similar to other books when the author's copying themselves and not like plagiarizing, obviously, because typically I want something that is exactly the same but like switch a few details so I technically don't know what's happening. So if that's what this is, it's perfect for me and I'm going to love it. So when you see a review of this, if it's positive, take that with a grain of salt. Then I couldn't help myself. I picked up The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armis. There's a dog on the back. Do you see him? Or her? Just the cutest. How could I not? This is the like spin-off sequel to The Spanish Love Deception, and I feel like a lot of people's biggest complaint with Spanish Love Deception was that it needed to be edited down quite a bit, and this is significantly shorter than that one, so I'm very excited. I think it's going to be cute. Oh, there's texting in here. I just think I'm going to love it. So I don't know much about this one, but there's a dog on the back. It looks like it takes place in New York City. Say less, honestly. The next two, one of them I know I haven't hauled because it literally just came out. The other one though, I don't know if I have hauled or not, so I'm gonna put it here just in case. Barbarian Lover is the one that I'm not sure if I've hauled or not, and then Barbarian Mine, both by Ruby Dixon. These are the special edition covers in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I loved Ice Planet Barbarians. I thought it was so good, and these are just such fun, feel-good books, and I think that they would be really, really great to marathon in the wintertime because they take place on an ice planet. Who saw that coming? Was it you? Because it wasn't me. I've been collecting these covers as they come out because I think they're beautiful, and they're such easy, quick reads when you just like want something to escape. Content warning in the first one though for SA and the R word, not like the R word slur, but the tangential thing to SA that I can't say because I don't want to get demonetized. That's in there. Doesn't happen to our main character, I don't think, but she watches it happen to one of the other characters, and it's just within the first couple of chapters and then it doesn't happen again. So just be wary of that. These next few books I'm so freaking excited about. Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I don't own the other two books in the series, but I have read these, so I want them for my shelves. This was the only one that my bookstore had, so I went ahead and picked it up. I do plan on getting the other ones, but this is also just my favorite one in this series. So I was having a bad day and my partner wanted to cheer me up, so he got me a book, which was very sweet. The Brown Sisters series, I feel like genuinely gets better with each book. I love this one just a little bit more than Eve Brown, and then Chloe Brown is my least favorite. And then I got Crazy Stupid Bromance, which was another one that I believe Juan bought for me that same day that we got Danny Brown, because I was not feeling great. I freaking love this cover. I have read this at this point. I will save my thoughts for my September wrap-up, but I really, really enjoyed this series, so I wanted to own physical copies for my shelves once again, because as I said in my goals video for the year, I want my shelves to be more representative of what I read and what I enjoy, and this definitely like needed to be a part of that. And then also in my most recent book shopping vlog, I got Drunk on Love by Jasmine Guillory. I love Jasmine Guillory's books. I think I'm going to love this one as well. This one takes place at a winery in Napa Valley, I think, in California, and our main character, Margot, kind of runs the winery, even though it is like for her family. And then Luke Williams comes in. He's quit his high-paying tech job that his family is so proud of him for having to work at this winery, and we're not entirely sure why, other than like that was super stressful and it was not fulfilling for him. So I have a feeling I'm going to love this. Like I said, I love Jasmine Guillory's writing. The next four books were a very expensive impulse. So we have the entire Twisted series by Anna Huang. Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies, like I said, all by Anna Huang. These are the hardcover editions that I don't think you can get anymore. They were only available up until I think September 13th. So I bought them two at a time so that I could have them because I think they're so pretty. And there's just something about having special editions that nobody else has that speaks to my soul. And maybe it shouldn't, but it does. I bought them all, even though they're on Kindle Unlimited and I haven't read them yet. I don't want to talk about it. I just have this fear. This is honestly what drives so much of my book shopping, and it's really, really bad. I have this fear that books are going to go out of print in the editions that I want, so I buy them as quickly as I possibly can so that I have the editions that I want. Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie is a byproduct of this. This is the third book in the Addicted series by KBR. Haven't read the first one or the second one, but I have the first three. But I really love this cover with that same like impulse that I have. I also bought Midnight Mass, Sinner, and Saint by Sierra Simone. I owned the first book, Priest, in these editions. I love these covers. I think they're so beautiful. And Rylan got into my Instagram DMs and told me that the ugly flower editions, I shouldn't say ugly, they're not my favorite. I prefer these ones. Those were going to be the only editions available, and I owned the first book in this edition. I wanted to own the rest of them in these editions as well. So here we are. And then lastly, for the romance section, I ordered Misfit by Elle Kennedy. This is the first book in the prep novel. This is about, I think it takes place at an all-boys school, and the main, like the hero in this, falls in love with the headmaster's daughter. So it's like a taboo, forbidden kind of romance. I'm very excited. It looks so good. I am very mad that this does not match the other books size that Elle Kennedy has come out with, except for the Bloom ones, which I don't own. Just so we can get a section done quickly, we'll do Book of the Month. For these, what's ironic about this is I ordered my Book of the Month for September just a couple minutes ago. So, Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. This one to me screams cozy mystery, or at least just like a light-hearted mystery. It's about like 60-year-old female assassins. I don't think I need to say anything else. It sounds so fun, and I know that Deanna Raybourn is pretty popular for her Veronica Speedwell series, which is another series that I really want to get into, but for now we've got this one and I'm very pleased with it. I also grabbed The Most Likely Club by Alyssa Friedland. I don't really know what this one is about, but the cover screams Valentine's Day to me. It says contemporary fiction, and the little tagline says, "At their milestone high school reunion, a group of friends makes a pact to finally achieve their high school superlatives one way or another in this lively new novel from the acclaimed author of Last Summer at the Golden Hotel." That sounds fun! I'm excited. Hated high school, and I will not be going to my high school reunion, but I hope these girls are having fun. Anytime I think about high school, it literally just puts me in a bad mood, because if I could burn that from my memory, I literally would. Then, my other Book of the Month books that I got, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center and When We Were Bright and Beautiful by Jillian Medoff. This one is like romantic comedy, not super spicy, where the bodyguard is actually the heroine in the story, so I'm very excited for that. And then this one is a contemporary fiction, but it gives me like Frederick Bachman vibes in that it's a courtroom drama, so it's probably going to be very dramatic and feel like thrilling writing, even though it is not a thriller story. This is about Cassie Quinn, whose brother is on trial. He has been accused of raping someone, and Cassie doesn't believe that he did it, and it's kind of following the trial as it's going on in New York City. Very intrigued with this one. Don't know if he did it or not. Cassie obviously doesn't seem to think so, but doesn't mean that is true, unfortunately. I'm super excited to read this one. I think it's going to be good, and I'm pretty sure the chapters are like relatively short. Yeah, so like I said, stoked. I have a feeling this will be at least a 4-star. We'll move on to the like mystery and dark academia books. I guess we'll just do the dark academia little pile first. So we have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I got this one to read during the Dark Academia-thon, and then I got really bad news before the Dark Academia-thon and during the Dark Academia-thon, and all I read was romance, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm excited. I've heard that this one is so intriguing and messed up, and I have a feeling I'm going to love it. I also got Babel by R.F. Kong. This is their newest release. It is set at Oxford, and it kind of follows a student in the language like translation department, I believe. I think that this one's gonna be super good, and very intriguing. And then I got Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. I heard Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte talk about this one a lot. Apparently it's very similar to like X-Men. But I also think it would be really fun for my partner to read this one. I want to do a round 2 of giving him a TBR. Then I got one of my most anticipated releases, and I'm happy to tell you, it did not disappoint, but we will talk about that in my wrap-up. I also have a dedicated reading vlog for this. I don't know when that will be out. I have so many videos that I need to edit, so just bear with me, but that is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is one of my favorite series of all time. I loved this book, gave it 5 stars, so freaking good. This is the 3rd book in the Inheritance Games series. The Inheritance Games, book 1, follows our main character Avery Kylie Grahams, who one day gets summoned to come to this reading of a will wherein she inherits like $42 billion from a man that she's never met. Alright, moving on with the mystery thriller genre. I have 2 Karen M. McManus books because I want to do a whole vlog like reading her books. So we have Nothing More to Tell, which is actually a signed copy. This is, I believe, her most recent release. And then One of Us is Next, which is the sequel to One of Us is Lying. I haven't read that one, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it because it's The Breakfast Club with a little bit of murder mixed in, so it sounds really good. Then another very recent pickup, I believe I actually got this yesterday, is Are You Sarah by S.C. Lally. These 2 women named Sarah, and they both put in for a rideshare, like a Lyft or an Uber or something like that, and only one of them gets home alive. So they get in the car, and obviously the driver says, "Are you Sarah?" They both say yes to each of their respective drivers, and that driver has been ordered to unalive them. It sounds so freaking eerie. It has short chapters. It's pretty much everything that I want when I'm reading a mystery thriller, so I am freaking stoked. The tagline says 2 women named Sarah each get into a rideshare, but only one makes it home alive. Which Sarah was the real target? How eerie is that? And I don't think I'll ever be able to get into an Uber again. And then the last 2 books in this section, we have The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I saw Kayla from Books and Lala read this and say she loved it, and that the annotations in here were super fun, and that it was just like a very quirky book, so I'm super excited. This was really funny because my boyfriend and I were in a bookstore for our anniversary because I wanted to go. I picked this one up, and it's an independent bookstore that we went to, and he goes, "Oh, someone already like read this and annotated it." And I was like, "No, that's how the book came." And he was like, "Oh, that's weird." We also have Greenwich Park by Catherine Faulkner. I believe I got this during one of the Barnes & Noble like sale hauls where it was 50% off for an adult hardcover thriller, which is a deal that you just can't beat. This one sounds like it's about an unhinged pregnant woman, so I'm intrigued. The last section that we've got is kind of a mix of everything, so we've got some contemporary fiction and things like that. So we'll do the contemporary fiction first. I got 21 Truths About Love by Matthew Dix. I picked this one up because the cover is super cute, and then I read the back, and it's basically about this man who is married to a woman that was widowed, and he feels like he is living in the shadow of her late husband, and he just can't live up to him. And then also, while that is happening, she really wants baby, he doesn't because their financial situation is not the greatest, and he's trying to come up with ways to make money and stressing about that because she does end up getting pregnant. And then the third thing that really sold me on this book is that it is told in a bunch of lists, and I think that that's just a very unique way to like tell a story. So then I picked up Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens at Target because so many people have been reading it and loving it, and I feel like I could potentially love it. I know that the movie is coming out very soon, and I want to read it. I want to see if it's good. It's been intriguing to me ever since it came out, but I had never actually read it before. And it's kind of along the lines of When We Were Bright and Beautiful, where it's a thrilling story with a contemporary backdrop. And then lastly, I got another book that I have already read, but I didn't own a physical copy of, and it's one of my favorite books of all time, A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman. Frederick Bachman is one of my all-time favorite authors, and this is one of my favorite books by him. I've loved all of his books, I'm pretty sure, for the most part, so I just wanted to own a physical copy of this one because it's in the top 3 of my favorite books by him. Then I got a couple of young adult books, which shocks us both. So I got An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X. R. Pan. I've been wanting to read Emily X. R. Pan's first book for quite a while, but this one just sounds so intriguing, and her other book was so heartbreaking that I thought it would be great to get this one. Then I also got All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. I've been eyeing this one for quite a while, so I finally just bought it. This is Sabaa Tahir's first contemporary story, and it, I think, is like dual timeline or dual POV. I'm not entirely sure, but I've heard that this one is super sad and impactful, and I love Sabaa Tahir's writing already, so I'm very excited to give her contemporary a try. The 2 most random books in this haul, Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales. This is the Minalima edition. This was actually sent to me by the publisher, so thank you very, very much. I think that this is beautiful. I love the Minalima editions of pretty much everything, and when I saw this cover and I saw the email, I was like, how could I not? I mean, seriously, this is so freaking beautiful. Are you kidding me? So I'm excited to flip through this and read some of these. I think it's gonna be so cool and such a fun and immersive way to consume these stories. So I'm so excited. Again, thank you to the publisher for sending me this. And then lastly, we have a graphic novel, which is Crumbs by Dani Sterling. I have already read this one. I really enjoyed it. This is a witchy graphic novel. It's not spooky or scary at all. It just takes place in like a paranormal setting, and it's kind of like a slice of life romance story. It's super sweet and adorable, but this is like a webtoon original, and it was so freaking good. Okay guys, so it's a few weeks later. I've had COVID since filming this video, and I'm almost done editing the first bit that you saw, but I've collected some more books while I was chilling on my couch and coughing up a lung. So I thought I could show you those books, and then I'm like really done, and I don't have to include them in my book haul. Like the next one, which I will hopefully will be like December, maybe January, and by that time I will have forgotten all of these, so we're gonna do that now. All right, we've got quite a few, which puts this book haul into the 50s, if it wasn't already, so that's bad, but you know, whatever. I was sad about a lot of things, and it happened. This is how I tend to cope with things, which is not good. It is who I am, and I'm just gonna own it at this point. So I picked up The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, I believe. The sticker's covering the author's name. Yes, Ryan LaSala. I heard Katie Robert talk about this one actually, and first of all, this cover, the end papers, they're textured like honeycomb, and I think that's so cool. And Katie Robert was just literally raving about this. Like, I went ahead and picked it up. It sounds really, really intriguing. It sounds almost like kind of a whimsical, magical realism, dark academia setting type to it. So I was like, sign me up. Done. How cute would these be to annotate this book? Or maybe these? Yeah. Okay, that's dope, and I'm so excited. Are those the same? Almost exactly the same. That is so embarrassing. Whatever, I'm gonna ignore that like I do all my problems. And then I'm pretty sure I said in this haul that I wasn't allowed to get these until, or maybe I said it in a video for sure, that I wasn't allowed to get these until I read more in the series. And then I saw them on sale and that they were exclusive editions and some of them were signed, so I did it anyway. And that is Forging Silver into Stars, which is the spin-off to the Cursebreaker series. So I bought it. Obviously it's here in my hand. And then Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kemmerer. Where's this? No, which is her second fantasy series, and this is the sequel to the first book, which I do own. But like, it says special signed edition. How could I not? This one is also signed. So the reason that I got all of those books and another one that I'm about to show you is because I went to the bookstore for Saga Volume 10, and I had to go to a couple bookstores. There's a whole vlog of me getting this and me reading the series coming to you very, very soon. I just need to read the series. I've read volumes 1 through 9, but it was quite a few years ago. I think it's been about 4 years because I was reading them not as they were coming out, but up to the release of the 9th one, so it's been a while and I need a refresh, but I got Saga Volume 10 and I'm so excited that it's out and that they are continuing on with the series. I was kind of worried that it was going to be like a Name the Wind type of situation, but I'm so happy that it's not. And the last book that I got in that trip was The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes, which I really enjoyed, and I have a feeling that I'm going to like this one better just because our main character is going to be able to talk quite a bit more. And I didn't love the first one because I felt like it wasn't the adventure that I wanted, but I think that this one will be, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. And it was 20% off. The impulse in me couldn't say no. And then I got quite a few graphic novels because I'm planning on doing like a special Halloween video, but essentially I got The Witch Boy by Molly Knox Ostertag. These were all graphic novels that I've been wanting to get, and then the idea for the Halloween video came in my head and I was like, okay. But this one, I have read a book by this author before and I've had my eye on this one for quite a while, so I just decided to go for it. It is about a world where boys grow up to be shapeshifters, girls grow up to be witches, and this boy is a witch. So I'm very excited for all the discussions on that and everything. And yeah, I just think it's going to be really cool. Plus there are sequels and stuff. If I like it, I can continue on. And then I got Hooky Volume 1 and Volume 2. I love that more webtoons are becoming traditionally published graphic novels. And this one looks so freaking cute. So I'm so excited to dive into this. It kind of gives me, not really in plot or anything, the vibe of the Land of Stories books. I love that series. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And this is about twin witches who miss the bus to their witch academy, which could make them, like, it makes them some of the most wanted people because the academy seems to think it was on purpose, even though it wasn't. So I'm excited for their adventure. And then the last graphic novel I picked up, I have already read, and that is Lore Olympus Volume 3. I read this as a webtoon up to volume 107, so I have been collecting these and rereading the story as they come out, and I'm obsessed with it. There's a playlist actually that is on Spotify that I love while reading these books. I'll have it linked below in case anybody's interested in that, but I actually read this one yesterday and it was so good. I'm so excited for the next one. I think it's going to be incredible and potentially my favorite. And then speaking of Katie Robert from like 10 minutes ago, I picked up The Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I believe this is like a bind up, and there are a bunch of different acts in it with stunning drawings. I think that this is so beautiful and I am so excited. I love a good Katie Robert book, so I think that that is, again, so exciting. And then I picked up another vampire book because nobody told me, and I feel cheated, and I'm holding you all responsible for this. This book was set at a boarding school or like an academy, like whatever. The point is it's set out of school and nobody told me. And that is Crave by Tracy Wolff. Do I expect incredible things out of this book? No. Did I read or enjoy Twilight? No. DNF'd it at 70 pages. I thought it was terrible. But this one's set at a school. I'm excited. I'm gonna try it. Again, not anticipating great things. If you want a dedicated reading vlog for this to kind of get my reactions, let me know. I think that part could potentially be fun. But yeah, I thought I would try it. So that is it for this video. For real now. I will cue the old outro. Maybe I should do a new one. I don't remember if that one's good or not, in case that one's not good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all of the love recently on my channel. I've seen a lot of new faces and it does not go unnoticed. It's really, really cool to see. And I have some really exciting things coming up in the next few months. So I hope that you guys are excited too. But other than that, that is all I have for you. Like I said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing well, reading, mentally, and otherwise. And I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.